Well, it's Tuesday evening, alive and kicking's on. It can only mean one thing. We're at the EBB for National League action. My goodness, the games are coming around quickly, listeners. Very good evening to you. I'm Rob Worrell. Alongside me is Steve Gibbs, the former Aldershot Town media manager. If you are listening or watching on NLTV of a Dagenham and Redbridge persuasion, do not worry. We will be as balanced as we always try and be. And a game of football, Steve, if you're ready to join me in conversation. A game of football which two football clubs would very dearly love to win. They would. Embellish if you like.
Oh, yeah. Anyone can hear me?
Oh,
can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can now.
Apologies, you can now. Yes.
I had one job. Push one button.
Absolutely. Two teams who would love to win this game for differing reasons. The Shots have finally won 2 consecutive league games, which before last Tuesday they hadn't done this season. They're now looking for a 3rd consecutive win, which would do them the world of good as they push up the table.
And here come the teams. Aldershot Town led out by Aaron Jones in their home kit of red and blue striped shirts, red shorts and red socks. And Dagenham Redbridge led out by former Shots player Josh Rees, has got the armband tonight, and they are in an all pale yellow strip with some blue edging. The two sides shake hands now, and we believe the Shots will line up as follows: Marcus Dewhurst in goal, a back three of Luca Woodhouse, Christian Maghoma and Will Armitage, and then a midfield 4 across from the left to the right: Frost, Hargreaves, Widrington and Jones, Aaron Jones that is, and then Ryan Jones in the hole behind Jack Barham and Josh Barrett. Daggers will line up as follows: Louis Jones in goal. We always seem to have a lot of Joneses. It's a job, Steve, to keep up with the Joneses, isn't it? Chris Francis, Tom Eastman and Paul Calumbayi, we think the back 3, and then Regan Clayton, Josh Rees, Jake Hessenthaler and Oscar Rutherford across the middle, with Ryan Hill probably from the left and Dion Piera probably more from the right, supporting Josh Umera. And coming into the game tonight, the Shots will be looking to get right back where they left off in National League action last week, 6 points in a week, and followed that up, of course, with an FA Trophy quarter-final win at Sittingbourne. Both sides go into a huddle. Our referee this evening is Wayne Cartmel. Familiar name in the middle. I think he's refereed for a number of years. I'll get his stats up at some point and share them with you. But it looks as though Aldershot Town are going to kick towards the High Street end in the first half, and Dagenham and Redbridge towards the East Bank, and Dagenham and Redbridge it is that have the kick-off. Dion Pereira approaches the ball and then steps away from it and leaves it to Ryan Hill. Okay, we are just about good to go here at the EBB. This evening, Aldershot Town start in 18th place, Dagenham and Redbridge in 19th place. The Shots have 1 more point and 2 games in hand on Dagenham and Redbridge as well. And the Shots, according to Carl Gladman, who's mentioned it to me just outside, 15 points off the playoffs and 3 points ahead of the bottom 4. Ball's quickly into touch, and it's going to be a throw-in to Aldershot Town. Tyler Frost is retrieving the ball, and 20 seconds in, the Shots will restart play with this throw down the line. Barrett's competing for it. It's lifted forward by Eastman, hooked forward again by Dagenham, and then a towering header from Christian Maghomer, which finds the blue section. Third from the left as we look at the south stand. It goes blue seats, red seats, blue seats, red seats. And you could possibly know that if you're watching on NLTV, but for the fact that the cameras are in your stand. So that's why I'm describing it, Steve.
Indeed, yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, Carl was slightly incorrect. It's 16 points and a chunk of goal difference, but the point stands. A good run from here.
Foul there on Christian Maghomer on the edge of his own area. Sorry, Steve, carry on.
Yeah, a good run from here could lift Aldershot Town up the table, and we've said it so often in the last couple of weeks that the next chunk of games up to April the 1st is you're either playing a team that's down with Aldershot Town in that bottom third of the table, or, like on Saturday with the visit of Gateshead, a team that are challenging for promotion. All big games, no easy games. But if the Shots can get a bit of momentum, it could lift them up the table into the relative comfort of mid-table obscurity.
Here's a ball forward from Aaron Jones, looking for his namesake, can't find him. It's hooked away by Clayton and held up nicely by Josh Umera. Plays the ball into the path of Pereira. And Dagenham nice and busy in these opening few minutes. Nice little ball round the corner there. And then Luca Woodhouse battling well to win the ball, plays it up to Josh Barrett. He holds it up and then pokes it outside to the right of him to Aaron Jones. Now Barrett inside to Widrington. Widrington sends it backwards and straight across the pitch into the path of Josh Umera. And now Ryan Hill has got the afterburners on, looking to get past Will Armitage. He cuts inside on his right foot. Shots player slips. Reese shoots, and it hits the foot of the post, I think. Was it the post or Dewhurst that saved it?
I think Marcus may have got fingertips to it, but the biggest reason why Dagenham aren't in a third-minute lead is that post. Low to Dewhurst's right. Josh Reese, how he'd love to score at the Ebb Stadium again. He's got 3 in his last 5. He's one of the key players. We talk about momentum, how Dagenham would love a bit of momentum. 1 win in 13, and that was against Ebbsfleet United. A result here this evening could do wonders for their confidence as much as anything.
Well, the ball's gone behind. It's a corner at the East Bank end. The first one of the evening goes to Dagenham. In it comes to the far post. Dewhurst, I think, gets a bit of a contact on it, and then it's hooked over his head by Aaron Jones. He doesn't get it too far. Pereira tries to keep it in, but he can only hold it there for Ryan Jones. Jones feeds Barham, who feeds Jones, and then it's just poked into touch, and the Shot's looking to respond. But yeah, really worrying moment there. A player like Josh Reese, of course, we've seen it in his time here at Aldershot, prior to that at Bromley, since then at Boreham Wood, and now at Dagenham. One of the most potent goal scoring midfielders. Yeah. And we used to dub him, didn't we, the non-league Frank Lampard, and is certainly a quality player, highly experienced now as well, a real leader as well, and got the armband on tonight. Yeah,
he's absolutely fantastic player, and I said one of those key players. If Dagenham are to stay up and are to find a bit of momentum, him, Pereira, Hill, they all need to be firing and showing their qualities.
Right, Aldershot have now got an attacking throw in away to our right, level with the edge of the penalty area. Jones to Jones, Ryan, and now Ryan sends it across to Cameron Hargreaves. He'll feed in Tyler Frost. For Aldershot Town, they'll be looking to just keep the little bit of momentum they've built over the last 7 or 8 days with those home wins against Solihull and Hartlepool, and then the 3-0 win away at Sittingbourne in the FA Trophy. Here's Umera holding it up. Ball played down the right hand side. Ryan Hill chases, but Marcus Dewhurst is well placed, and he plays a lovely clearance that's actually bouncing rather awkwardly and has to be cleared into touch. But
Barham was offside.
Yeah, he's given offside, but again, did he touch it?
He didn't. No, I think
he's deemed to be interfering.
The assistant deemed that he was active, and as I think it was Brian Clough said, if you're on a football pitch and you're not active, what are you doing on the pitch? But yeah, I think he
for our younger listeners,
he started, yeah, that's a target reference for the kids. He started out in an offside position, waited for the play to bypass him, but then he engaged, and the assistant flagged him offside.
Long ball forward from Dagenham, headed away by Maghoma, headed back in by Oscar Rutherford, and then the possession is wrestled from Dagenham. Widrington plays it out to Aaron Jones, and now he plays it down the right, and again they're looking to ping balls into that area, aren't they, quite quickly. And whilst they're not coming off yet, what they are doing is they're being nodded into touch, and Aldershot are winning attacking throws. There's another ball over the top. Eastman cushions his header into the path of Regan Clayton. He quickly sends it forward. Umera knocks it down to Hill, and then Hill gets it back from Umera. Lovely build-up play from Dagenham, and Hill cuts inside the box and goes down a little bit too easily. It's a throw-in to Dagenham, but there's no doubt that in Ryan Hill's mind he thought he was going down for a penalty there.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was a penalty, but the Aldershot defender, and there were two of them, he cut in between them, did Hill. He invited the referee to make a decision, and fortunately for Aldershot Town, Mr. Cartmel erred on the side of caution.
Yeah, it was certainly a tight one, and we're positioned for our radio listeners, I beg your pardon, our online listeners, we're halfway inside the other half, or a third of the way into it, so we haven't got the best of views to make a decision on something like that, but the referee was pretty close by, and he didn't look at all concerned or ruffled by any decision that he might have to make. Didn't feel he needed to make one, is another way of putting it. 7 minutes gone, 0-0 here at the EBB between Aldershot Town and Dagenham and Redbridge. One of those games that on paper one team comes into in pretty good recent form, the other one in as poor a form as they've been in all season, but it doesn't guarantee you a single thing, does it?
It certainly does not, no, and at some point Dagenham are going to have to have hit rock bottom and start the upward mobility again. And you look at their team, they've got some quality players, particularly going forward, and it only needs a couple of those to have a really good game and fire, and for Aldershot Town to be a little bit off form, off colour. Josh Reith to Umera, Pereira, they've got match winning quality in this team, Dagenham, for all of their lack of confidence, lack of form, rumours of disquiet off the pitch around the club. They could very easily get something here this evening.
Here's Maghoma running onto the ball on halfway, and he's impeded by Umera, and a little bit cynical from Umera, that, isn't it? Right in front of the referee.
He knew what he was doing.
Some referees would pull out a yellow for that. I don't want to see him. You don't want to see him given, but
it was definitely a free kick. He could see that Maghoma was about to stride into space and just pulled his arm back, and Christian went over to accentuate the contact, I think, but definitely a free kick.
Aldershot in possession for the benefit of our online listeners. Around the halfway line, Jones inside to Widrington, who tries a little flick round the corner. It doesn't come off, but Cameron Hargreaves comes to the rescue and just pokes the ball back to Aldershot Town player. And it was Aaron Jones and Will Armitage. Armitage scoring his first goal for the Shots on Saturday at Sittingbourne. A very well guided header, and a nice feeling that will have been for the youngster.
Absolutely, yeah, and a vital one at that as well. And it was a good punchy movement towards the ball, but then, as you put it in commentary, he didn't really get much on it, but it was guided well enough into the bottom corner that it didn't matter.
There's a headed winner from Ryan Jones. Barham battles with Francis. The ball's bouncing around and is hooked forward in the end by Jake Hessenthaler. And then it comes back, and Barham will jump, gets a little flick on it, but Eastman's going to hook it over his head. And then Maghoma comes in and again appeals to the referee for something. There wasn't a lot going on there, but it's an intriguing battle between him and Josh Umera early doors.
It is, yeah. Umera is a big, strong, physical customer, but then so is Christian Maghoma. Umera's qualities are poaching in the 6-yard box. He's got about 6 goals this season, and I think from about the combined distance of about 10 yards. He's a danger in the 6-yard box, perhaps less so when the ball's coming onto him. I think he sniffs out a chance rather than kind of dominates in the air.
That's Steve Gibbs. I'm Rob Worrell, and you're either listening to BBC Surrey online or watching NLTV. Either way, we welcome you to our coverage from the National League this evening. 18th against 19th at start of play, just a point between them. The shots with a couple of games in hand. Good take there by Chris Francis. Takes it back to Eastman, tries a ball through the middle. He's looking for Hill, and Will Armitage positions himself really well. But Hill is an absolute live wire, and on his day he can be a real handful.
Yeah, he's been one of their few highlights, one of their few bright spots in this awful run of form that they're on. No win in 10, just one win in 13. Get to the byline, pull back a dangerous cross, and if you've got Josh Rees running onto that, then that equals a goal pretty much. And yeah, they have got match winners in their team. It's just, as we said before kick-off, Aldershot Town need to follow the blueprint of last Tuesday against Solihull. Quick start, hopefully an early goal. Won't be that early goal now, we're in the 12th minute, but don't give the team the opportunity when they're down. Don't give them the opportunity to build any sort of optimism or foothold.
Yeah, last Tuesday, just 7 days ago, shots scored on 2, 16 and 32 minutes, didn't they? So they were 3-0 up and almost out of sight against Solihull Moors. Here's Maghomer doing well, lifting the ball up to Hargreaves. He hooks it on down the line. Barrett jumps with Francis, but Francis is always better placed there. And then Hill does really well to keep the ball in play. And somewhat after the event, the assistant referee in front of us here puts his flag up to give Dagenham a throw. I think for what it's worth, I think he was actually right. Hill managed to keep the ball in play, a roundabout on the line, and then Aaron Jones couldn't quite keep it in. But anyway, we've now had a foul by Ryan Hill, and Marcus Dewhurst is going to take a free kick for the shots just to the right side and just outside of his penalty area. 12 and a half minutes gone here.
Yeah, it was a foul on Will Armitage, and I think they're not both playing in defence this evening, but the arrival of Armitage and Woodhouse have really solidified this Aldershot Town defence. As a team, they've looked more solid, less fragile, less prone to mistakes since those two players have arrived, and I think they're some of Tommy Widrington's best business this season.
Here's Armitage ghosting onto a loose ball just inside his area. Goes back initially to Hargreaves. Hargreaves will flick it across to Maghomer. Good evening to David Miles, who's listening from the Lake District, still in the UK then, David. Great to meet up at the Hartlepool match. Come on, you shots, he says. And good evening to Lindsay Morrish, who says, I hope everybody is fit and healthy and ready for a shots victory. And he points out that the FA Trophy semi-final is on his birthday. Throw into Dagenham on the far side, opposite Steve and myself here in the media box. So round about just beyond halfway inside their own half. 13 and a half minutes have now elapsed here. We will keep you, of course, across the other National League action this evening. There's a full set of fixtures. There have been some early goals. It's already 1-1 between Fylde and Hartlepool. There's a ball across headed by Armitage, and Hill picks it up, and now he's given offside.
He knew he was offside.
Yeah,
he was dawdling towards the ball, just waiting for that flag to go up. But yeah, rightly so, he knew he was offside.
Halifax 1, Forest Green Rovers 0, Maidenhead 0, Braintree 1. Braintree on the march at the moment, they really are. And Solihull Moors 0, Sutton 1, Southend 0, Woking 1. Okoli with the goal there for Woking. So quite a few early goals. 0-0 here at the EBB. 14 and a half minutes gone. And the ball is in touch over on the far side. And Dagenham and Redbridge will have a throw just 5 or 6 yards into the Aldershot Town half. It's taken inside to Rees, brings it down, sends it back to the throw-in taker who can't keep it in. It was Oscar Rutherford. So throw into the shots now on halfway. Can they do a little better with this similar set piece? Or restart, for want of a better word. Frost hasn't found anyone to throw it yet to, but he did shuffle forward 5 or 6 yards very slowly. Dagenham have picked it off. Rees has sent it across to Hessenthaler. Hessenthaler's sent it forward, and it's come off the backside, I think, of Theo Widrington and into touch. Throw in to Dagenham and Redbridge, and fair to say, Steve, that neither side have really wrestled control of this game in the early stages.
No, I think Lewis Young will be very happy with the way his Dagenham team have started, showing a few promising moments going forward, and equally, considering the way they conceded 3 goals against Boston on Saturday, no troubles at the other end either in their defence.
Now Armitage and Hill going for a ball halfway inside the shots half at the same time, and the referee, Wayne Cartmel, well positioned, decides that is a free kick on Ryan Hill on this occasion. So what would you say, probably 30 plus yards out?
Yeah, it's slightly right of centre. I think including that slight angle, it's probably 32, 33 yards. And it looks like there's only one man that's going to be involved in this, and that is he who was fouled, Mr. Hill. Ryan
Hill. So he's either going to have a shot right-footed, or he's going to clip a ball over the top. Eastman is up there. Umera is up there. Kalambai is up there. And Josh Reese on the edge of the box, as is Hessenthaler and Pereira, all 3 of them dangerous.
Yeah, Christian Magoma's involved in a little bit more of a pushing match on the edge of the penalty area with a as yet unidentified Dagenham player. I think Tom Eastman.
Okay, free kick then to Dagenham, clipped in by Ryan Hill, headed back across, and then Hessenthaler tries to get a shot away. It comes out, Hill shoots, and it's cleared away up to Barham, who looks to poke it straight into the path of Tyler Frost. Frost sends it down the left side. There's nobody really there, it's just into the channel. Barham's interested at the last minute. He never gave up on it. And interestingly, the Dagenham defender at the last minute just pushed him out of the way to stop him getting onto it, but it was well off the ball, and the referee let it play on. Here's Oscar Rutherford up against Tyler Frost, cuts inside, goes to Hill. Pereira looks to send it back to Hill, but Aaron Jones reads it well. He's onto it and clears it forward. The shots by no means having their way in this opening 20 minutes or so. We're almost 18 minutes in, yet to have any kind of effort on goal. Josh Reese has hit the post, and Ryan Hill has had a relatively faint penalty shout. They're pretty much the only 2 moments of note in the opening 18 minutes, Steve Gibbs. 0-0.
They are, but absolutely, Dagenham are not looking like a team bereft of form and confidence and pretty much any sort of foothold in the league this kind of in the last few months since Lewis Young took over on Boxing Day. Pretty much, Dagenham have started with real style, confidence, purpose, cohesion. At the moment, they're the better team.
Here they come down the right hand side with Rutherford. Aldershot have momentarily got possession, but then it's come to Reese, edge of the box. Swick turn and then shoots over the bar, holds his hand up. Whether it was a bobble or he had to rush his shot, I think. But it's the 3rd key penalty box entry of the evening. 19 minutes in, 0-0, and still no efforts of note from the shots. Hopefully they can do what they've done in 1 or 2 games recently, and that's be quite clinical when the chances come along.
Absolutely, yeah. It was a weak defensive header from Aldershot Town, and in the end they were fortunate that Josh Reese on the turn drove the ball over.
Aaron Jones back to Will Armitage, sends it down the right hand side. Barrett jumps, can't win it. Hessenthaler will clear forward, well blocked by Ryan Jones, but it ricochets nicely into the path of Dagenham's number 24, Regan Clayton. And then there's a good battle again between Maghoma and Umera. Maghoma takes no chances, heads it into touch. The shots bench this evening: Van Stappershoef, Corbett, Dollahan, Mullins, Madger, Dan Ellison and Tarek Uwakwe, who is a signing on loan from Swindon Town, a 25-year-old. We'll get a stoppage in play. Steve will tell you more about him. I'm sure he's done his homework already. Because I know him of too many years. Ball's in touch again. Throw into Dagenham now, down by the corner flag, away to our left as we look, away to your right as you look on from the NLTV cameras. Said substitute has just gone for his first warm-up. We've yet to get an official verdict on whether he is Uwakwe or Uwakwe, but we'll find out in good time. The ball is behind the goal at the East Bank end. It will be a corner to Dagenham and Redbridge, their second of the game, and fair to say the response that Lewis Young was looking for has certainly been evident in the opening 20 minutes.
Yes.
Pretty tight game, but the only real chances of note going to Dagenham so far. Ryan Hill is going to take this corner kick. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinger. It's low, cleared away at the near post by Tyler Frost, and up to Jack Barham, who's tried to hold it up but missed out on it. A few groans from the north stand. Reese chasing the ball forward, just keeps it in by the byline, comes back but he'll only find Cameron Hargreaves. Hargreaves clears it but he'll only find Clayton. Clayton sends an early ball in, and Luca Woodhouse gets a nice little touch on it, which sends it into the path of Tyler Frost. Frost to Barrett. Barrett looking to change it out to the right hand side to try and find Aaron Jones if he can keep it in. He does, and he just goes back initially to Will Armitage. And bit of tension, I'd say, in the ground, in the atmosphere. I think the realisation playing out in front of people's eyes that, as Tommy and his management team always say, there are no easy games. Nobody's going to come here and say, oh yeah, we're out of form, so go and have the 3 points. It just doesn't work like that.
It doesn't. Absolutely not. No, Dagenham are fighting for their survival as much as maybe Aldershot Town were a week or two ago.
And here they come down the left with Josh Barrett. He might have just overrun it there. He has indeed lost out. And good work in defence for Dagenham. And now they go back through Pereira to Louis Jones. His kick forward, though, is easily taken under control by Will Armitage, who goes back to his keeper, Marcus Dewhurst. Dewhurst goes short on this occasion to Mag Homer. And so far, Dagenham and Redbridge out of possession, look very well organised and very clear on what their jobs are. Here's Hargreaves sending it forward, one in the air by Reese, but Hargreaves is onto the loose ball. He's then caught a little bit late by Reese. Reese, I don't think, could probably help it, but Hargreaves has just taken a bit of a knock there, and Aldershot interested initially in taking the free kick quickly. Hargreaves trying to shrug it off and just get up and get on with it.
Yeah, it wasn't as much as anything. Josh Reese just couldn't get out of the way. It was a bit of a driverless juggernaut was Cameron Hargreaves, and he just crashed into him. But yeah, fortunately he's still flexing his leg, feeling the effects of that collision, but Hargreaves is okay to continue.
We're in the 24th minute, we're halfway through it. Goalless here at the EBB at the moment. Shots nil, daggers nil. Free kick to Aldershot. Widrington stood in an offside position. Is taken. Barrett sends it in. It's missed by a couple of people. Might come out to Armitage. He has a swing and a miss. And then there's an offside given. And a follow-up shot from from Tyler Frost is wide. And Will Armitage there having a swing, Steve, looking to make it 2 goals in 2 games. And didn't really get hold of it.
No, he didn't. No, he did make some connection, but
yeah,
not clean. But then he didn't make much of a clean connection on his header.
But he caught it well.
But he caught it, yeah. It still went in. So yeah, maybe that's the secret. Slightly scuff it, and it goes in.
Sometimes that can catch keepers out, you know. I'd say similarly with the third goal, Tyler Frost's really. He just drew it, got his head over it, got his shot on target in the corner. It didn't look spectacular, but it was very effective.
Yeah. And
it found the corner.
Yeah. The goalkeeper is going to be set for the most difficult variant of whatever shot he expects. And if you slice it, shank it, scuff it, the goalkeeper might not be expecting that and isn't set properly to stop it.
So Aldershot in a long run at the moment of Saturday, Tuesday games, which is going to stretch, I think, 9 or 10 weeks all told. That's a lovely take out of the sky by Frost, but then as he brings it down, he's just outwitted by Rutherford, and then the ball breaks kindly again, and then Frost brings down Rutherford. Genuine attempt to get the ball, but Rutherford was positioned well. Frost was a bit late. Free kick to Dagenham and Redbridge. About 10 yards or so outside of their own box, and Louis Jones is coming to take it for the Daggers, and now we are 25.5 minutes in here at the EBB. I haven't totted this up of late, but we generally tend to say that we average about 4 goals a game here at the EBB, don't we? It's not normally far off. We have had games recently that were tight and low scoring for quite a while, and then the goals exploded in the second half, so we'll wait and see what we've got. Barrett plays the ball there off of Kalambayi, but Kalambayi does well to keep it in play, and then a ball through the middle, which is easy enough for Will Armitage to head back to Marcus Dewhurst. He pulls it out quickly to Woodhouse to Frost inside to Hargreaves. Good take, difficult ball into now Ryan Jones, I beg your pardon, and now he's had it wrestled off him. As soon as they are out of possession, Dagenham working like Trojans, Steve, to get the ball back, and Aldershot have had no time on the ball. They have not been allowed to settle.
No, at the moment it's been a superb away performance from Dagenham. Tight, compact, tenacious, aggressive, not, as you say, not allowing the home side any space to get their passing game going, and Lewis Young will be absolutely delighted. And I think that's changed the formation. Normally they play a 4-3-3. Tonight Dagenham is a 3-4-3. Those three centre backs, I think at the moment the whole change in formation looks to be a real masterstroke.
Here's Barrett receiving the ball inside the Dagenham half, plays it out to Aaron Jones. Quickly, yellow shirts everywhere, but Barrett's got it. He's running inside to the penalty area, tries a little ball through to Barham, and it doesn't quite come off, but nice idea. There's a clever little header from Will Armitage, just to not quite wrong foot Umera, but move it before he could get there. He was charging in, and quick work, good work from Armitage. Got a little bit of a spring in his step tonight, which is good to see. And Aaron Jones shows short to him. Inside he knows he's got Cameron Hargreaves there. Hargreaves on the half turn, spreads it left to Tyler Frost. Frost tries a ball over the top into a channel on the left for Barham to get to it. He gets there, chests it down, holds it up on the touchline. He's poked into touch by Oscar Rutherford, and we're nearly 28 minutes gone now. You're listening to Steve Gibbs alongside myself, Rob Worrell, for BBC Radio Surrey and on NLTV. It's the Dagenham fans we can hear at the moment, probably only 40 or 50 of them over there on the far side, but they're making the only noise in the stadium. It's a bit of a tense, nervy East Bank and North Stand at the moment, just waiting perhaps for the shots to really come alive. Could this be the moment? Ball down the left, chased by Barham, gets there first, plays it back to Frost. Barrett's in the middle, Jones is in the middle. It's a shot from a long way out from Frost, and it clips up off a Dagenham defender and goes behind. First corner of the evening to the Shots. 0-0, 28.5 minutes gone.
Shots definitely need to lift it, whatever it takes. It has been a bit of a flat opening half an hour. An ambitious shot from Tyler Frost. You think, don't shoot from there, there must be better options. He does though, it's low and hard, and it crashes up off Tom Eastman's foot, and the Shots have a corner.
They certainly do. He had a shot from a similar distance on Saturday, and that went in, so you can't blame him. Into the 30th minute we go, 0-0. Barrett with the corner. That's headed away at the near post, and Ryan Jones almost runs nicely onto it, but Aldershot will pick it up again on the edge of the final third. Aaron Jones with a lovely ball out to Theo Widrington on the left side of the penalty. Nice ball in with the left foot, headed away onto Ryan Jones. He juggles it inside the penalty area, then he gets another touch, then it runs away from him. Widrington gets there just in front of the defender. Clip ball comes in, headed away by it might have even been Umera back there. No, it was Kalambayi, and Aldershot scrapping for it, and Pereira got it briefly, but it's been picked up now by Ryan Jones, Josh Barrett, who tries a little cross-come shot just over the bar, and it does look as if the Shots are coming alive. We're on the half-hour mark now, and Theo Widrington, after a lovely left-footed cross there, still just stayed down, Steve. Yeah,
I think he got caught late on his ankle as he battled for that second ball. But yeah, belatedly it may be, but the Shots have finally come alive. Their best passage of play by far this evening, and we're into the 31st minute. I think that shows how cautious, how sluggish their start has been, and by contrast how really positive and dynamic Dagenham have been.
Here's Hill knocking it down, eventually finds Rees. Rees sends it back to Hill, and then really good positioning from Luca Woodhouse to pounce on the ball. And then once he got position, Hill was a little bit too keen to try and win it back. So free kick, and now Ryan Hill is going to get a yellow card for picking up the ball and trying to referee the game on his own, Steve.
Yeah, rightly so. Rightly so. Aldershot Town may have been trying to take the free kick from the wrong place, but Hill has no right to, as you say, pick the ball up and referee the game himself. It's up to the referee to tell Aldershot Town where to take the free kick from. But yeah, that was excellent, aggressive defending from Luca Woodhouse. He just put his body in between Hill and the ball, and there's enough of a physical mismatch there that Hill had no chance. That all he was going to do was commit the foul and concede the free kick.
Dewhurst takes the free kick. Nobody can get on the end of it. It finds touch over on the far side, right at the end of the south stand, in front of the open slab terracing, which still remains popular for a certain portion of the Shots faithful, and it has been for some of them for many, many years, doesn't it?
Oh, it has. It has. There's people over there that have had the same chunk of decaying concrete for about the last 40 years.
Good,
and it will remain theirs for another 40 years if they have anything to do with it.
Yeah. Good strength at the back from Maghoma. Shots now in possession, coming over halfway with Aaron Jones. Ball into Josh Barrett. Gives it to Ryan Jones. Combination of Rees and Francis managed to get the ball back. Good battling there from Josh Rees. Pretty much an all-rounder, isn't he? He's not. If there's one area of the game he's not so renowned for, it's probably the tackling, but he knows he's got to set the example tonight, hasn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. And he's also got Hessenthaler alongside him, whose game is all about the dirty work. If your name's Hessenthaler, you're going to be able to tackle. Like father, like son, very much. But, yeah, Josh Rees, he can handle himself in the tastiest, most congested midfields, but you give him space on the ball and he will do damage.
Umera beats Maghoma in the air, and Hargreaves arrives a little bit late there on Hessenthaler, who just doesn't flinch, gets on with it. Is Barham battling against his man Kalambai, who comes back and just leans an arm on him. Not enough for the referee to give a foul, and Dagenham could get in here on the left hand side. Umera it is. It's coming to the penalty area. It's coming in towards Armitage, who stands his ground and blocks the cross and puts it behind for a Dagenham and Redbridge corner. Good break from the Daggers, and another corner to them, and good defending from Will Armitage.
Yeah, they've been dangerous on the counter so far, Dagenham and Redbridge, but absolutely no foul. Really good defending from Callum Bay, similar to the previous shoulder charge the other way round. It was good, strong defending. He asserted himself more strongly than his opponent, and yeah, Umera didn't really look like he knew what to do in that position. I think the corner was about the best he could have hoped.
In comes the next corner to the far stick. It's a jump and a catch from Dewhurst, and he gets the ball out quickly to Hargreaves, who's just pushed off the ball. A little bit of muscle there from Pereira, it was, coming back, and now Francis into Umera to Hill, back to Francis, held up by Pereira on the left side now. Clayton sends it forward, bounces once and will drift out of play behind the goal away to our left. Quick update on some of those other games in the National League, where there's been goals probably in the majority of them now. So let's run through. Fylde 2, Hartlepool 1. All the goals coming in the first 12 minutes there. Barnet 1, Yeovil 0. Ryan Glover with the goal. I think he's up to 8 for the season now. By far his best return in football. Southend have just equalised against Woking. Goalless between Boston and Oldham. Eastleigh 1, Ebbsfleet 0. Halifax 1, Forest Green 0. Here's Widrington working his way down the left into Frost. Oh, he's turned in the box, he goes down, managed to get the ball in anyway, and it's cleared away, and Pereira will pick it up. Braintree 2-0 up at Maidenhead. 0-0 between Rochdale and Gateshead. And Ryan Hill is running towards the byline. He's cutting in, he's pulling it back to Umera. The shot is blocked by Hargreaves, and it will drift out of play for an attacking throw-in 2 Dagenham and Redbridge, Tamworth 0, Wealdstone 0, and York City 0, Altrincham 1. Throw into Dagenham, halfway on the right hand side, halfway lengthwise inside the penalty area. In it comes, cut out by Hargreaves, poked up in the air, headed up in the air by Hill, and then Dagenham and Redbridge have kept it again. Hill's got it. He's there's a good battle going off the ball between Maghoma and Umera, and Maghoma goes down off the ball, and now he's stayed down as well, so I'm not quite sure if you got a clear look at that, Steve. Did you?
I did. No, out the corner of my eye I saw Maghoma reeling from a collision with Umera. There seems to be it looks to be a leg injury for Christian. There seems to be a little bit of concern.
It does look a bit concerning. It was quite innocuous. It was not on the ball, it was off it, so I only caught it out the periphery of my eye.
Yeah.
Straight away, somebody out there, I think it's Aaron Jones, has signalled for a stretcher, which is not good news for Christian Maghoma.
Horrible news.
He of all players knows what it's like to be out long term from football.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, for this game, for the rest of the season, for Christian personally, you hope that it's not serious. You hope that it doesn't end his game or keep him out for a prolonged period. He will be a vital player for the rest of Aldershot Town season. They do have cover on the bench and in the squad to play at centre back, but a fit Christian Maghoma is someone that you'd want around.
Certainly, I would imagine that if Christian Maghoma's game is over, then it might well be Dan Ellison that's called upon, but he hasn't played for some time. No. And what have we got? 8 minutes, 7.5 minutes until half time, probably nearer to 10 by the time you've added the time on.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for someone to marshal the defence, play, and Christian is playing the centre of those 3 centre backs, could Theo drop back there and play more of a sweeper role? You would have to pass Umera on to one of the other 2 centre backs. Theo's not physically adept at dealing with someone like that, particularly the physical tussle that he's been having with Maghoma. But you'd say like for like, all things being equal, Dan Ellison is the natural replacement. Yeah. But there's also options in in and around the team where you might switch a few players around.
Yeah, it does look as if it is going to be Ellison. The other option might have been to drop Widrington into the back 3 and bring Madger on into the centre of midfield possibly. But Dan Ellison it is. It's going to get his first action for some time. And long-term loanee now from Bristol Rovers, who I thought did really well when he first came. Yeah. Then he had a little bit of an injury, I think, at just the wrong time, and other players came in and got in the team in front of him. But a sad sight to see Christian Maghoma leaving the pitch.
He's being helped off, shouldered off between 2 of the Aldershot Town coaching staff behind the East Bank goal, getting a little bit of treatment. But it's going to be Dan Ellison come on and a straight swap at centre back. I'm sure Umera will be relishing the prospect of coming up against another defender who he can bully and pull out of position and help Dagenham regain the ascendancy in this game.
What I'm looking at here, they're going to go, I think, because it looks like they're going to go like for like. I think Luca Woodhouse just wanted to know, was he now going to come into the middle, but I think at the moment anyway.
Yeah, I think it's Ellison who's taken that central position, and
it was a really good battle between Umera and Maghoma, both a couple of crafty foxes who've been at this level for a while. Anyway, the free kick's taken into Umera. He tries to turn and get his shot away. Good hold up play from Armitage, but then it's out, and heavy touch from, I think it was Oscar Rutherford. He had a momentary glimpse of the goal, didn't he? But Dewhurst read it superbly and snaffled it right off his feet. Here's Widrington turning. The ball poked into touch by Josh Rees. And a throw-in to be taken by Aaron Jones.
Yeah, it was a good... In the end, Umera did really well. He was shepherded away from goal really well from Ellison, but he still managed to get a little pullback, and but for a heavy first touch, Rutherford was in on goal.
Here's Luca Woodhouse making his way down the left side. The ball's cleared unceremoniously over the slab, over the advertising hoardings, and probably bouncing around somewhere on the railway track.
I think it's gone over the railway track. That's on Redan Road.
Quite possibly, Steve, quite possibly. Throw into the shots, taken quickly by Frost. Gets it back from Hargreaves. Up against his man now. Goes on his left. Can he make room for the cross? He clips back on his right. Now he plays it back down to Hargreaves. Hargreaves inside to Ryan Jones. Jones shows a little bit too much of it to Rees, but Rees can only poke it towards Armitage. And the shots send it out to the right-hand side now. Aaron Jones. Forward run from Cameron Hargreaves. Takes the ball under control. Nicely in the box and then out again. Holding it up. Goes back to Josh Barrett. There's so many Dagenham players around them. Manages to get his cross in. It's going to beat everybody, but Tyler Frost might just keep it in on the far side. He's up against Rutherford. 1-on-1. Goes back down the line to Luca Woodhouse. Woodhouse inside to Theo Widrington. The shots finish in the first half much better than they started it. There's a swivel from Barrett. Gets away, tries a little chip shot, claims handball. He's not going to get it, but the ball runs free to Aaron Jones. Where's he going to go? Inside, outside. He goes inside to Cameron Hargreaves. He'll square it across to Luca Woodhouse. He's going to try a shot from distance against the side he was on loan to earlier in the season and scored against Aldershot while he was playing for them. And Luca Woodhouse produces Aldershot Town's second effort towards goal in the 43rd minute.
Yeah, good play. I don't think that was ever going to be given as handball. Francis's arm was close to his body, and I think it was slightly on the blind side of the referee as well. So never going to be anything, either a free kick or a penalty. It was right on the edge of the area.
And the smattering of applause that you might have heard, radio or online listeners, in the background was for Christian Maghomer as he hobbled round with the aid of crutches actually already and disappeared down the tunnel. How quickly life can change as a footballer. Here's Dagenham looking to send the ball out to the left-hand side through Regan Clayton. One of the few players in the Dagenham Redbridge lineup that I'm not particularly familiar with, to be honest. Steve, what have you got on him?
I'm still teed up for Tariq Uwukwe.
All right, sorry.
Who are you asking about?
Regan Clayton.
Yeah, he won the FA Youth Cup with West Ham a couple of years ago. He's made 6 appearances for Dagenham since joining in January. A left-sided player, left back, left wing back, can also just step inside to centre back as well. But I think Lewis Young said in his pre-match interview on the Dagenham and Redbridge social media accounts that he offers natural left-sided ability and width, which maybe other players who've been playing left back recently haven't necessarily been natural left-siders.
Cameron Hargreaves holds his finger to his ear as the referee stood less than a yard away behind him, let out a pierce shrill on his whistle right in his ear to tell the Dagenham and Redbridge players to go back for the throw. The ball's ended up back in touch. Umera couldn't keep it in. Aldershot take the throw. Armitage back to Dan Ellison, and Ellison to Luca Woodhouse. Raking ball lifted out into a channel of space on the left hand side that's initially populated by Paul Kalambai. He just plays the ball, I think, off of an Aldershot Town player, and it goes into touch. Rutherford's coming back to take the throw in. We are 30 seconds away from finding out how much added time there will be in the first half. 0-0 here between the Shots and the Daggers. Throw down the line from Dagenham. Frost sticks out a leg behind him, and the ball catches it and it goes straight back into touch. Rutherford will restart the play. We're going to have 3 added minutes. If I knew Craig was about to say that, I needn't have commentated on it, have I? Throw down the line, inside, Hill's competing for it. And Dan Ellison will get there and just play the ball into touch. throw into Dagenham and Redbridge. Halfway through the first of 3 additional minutes. And Rutherford's going to setting up for a longer looking throw here. Eastman and Callum Bailly coming forward for it. In the end, it's played short to Pereira. Pereira's just turned and gone by Frost, sends the cross in, header comes in, and then headed back further across goal by Aaron Jones and picked up on the far side, sent back in by Reese and then headed away by Will Armitage, and Hargreaves competing for it, and then Hill can only put it into the path of Ryan Jones. Jones lifts the ball early over the top looking for Barham. Good work by Clayton to get onto it, but Barrett's next onto the scene. Aaron Jones gives it back to him. Aldershot just looking for and needs something a little bit different, but here they send it across and it's headed into the path of Ryan Jones, and now Frost's got it, gives it to Jones, goes for the return. That's a big ask there for Frost to get on that.
Too much.
And it just disappears away behind the goal, away to our right. Interestingly, Tommy Widrington doesn't have a great deal of options right now. 1 or 2 on the treatment table, isn't there? And or maybe not quite back like your Teteks and your Henrys, who are apparently in and around the training scene, but not quite ready to play yet. But he's gone with the same lineup as Saturday, and you could understand why he would do that. But it could be the finishers that play their part tonight.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And Tommy's always been at pains to point out that there's not a starting 11 and the rest of the squad. There's starters, there's finishers, there's players, there's horses for courses, really. And absolutely, you look at the likes of Kai Corbett, Brad Dollahan, Manny Madger, Maxwell Mullins, who's become something a bit of a super sub at the club at the moment, then yeah, they're all going to play their role this evening and throughout the rest of the season.
Free kick taken short to Barrett in the middle. He spreads it out to the right hand side to Aaron Jones. He's up against Clayton. He almost leaves the ball behind for a second, but then he keeps it, gives it to Theo Widrington. Widrington down by the corner flag, just steps on the ball, comes back to Aaron Jones, sends it inside to Barrett. Lovely little return ball to Ryan Jones, squared back, crossed in and cleared behind by Tom Eastman. Corner to the shots, and perhaps Aldershot Town's most incisive move of the first half, Steve.
Absolutely, definitely. Incisive is the exact word that describes that. That was really good, quick, first touch, accurate play. Now Barrett crosses it in again.
Yeah, all the way across as far as Frost. He'll pick it up on the edge of the area, hooks it back in. And Ryan Jones gets his header on target. It's beaten away by Jones in the goal. Great effort there from Ryan Jones, and 3.5 minutes into 3 added minutes. The referee, Wayne Cartmel, blows for half time. Meanwhile, another shots player is down. It's Luca Woodhouse, I think, up there, but he's a bit shaken, but not stirred apparently. It's half time, 0-0.
Yeah, he was down after that, after the ball went behind and the half time whistle went, just shaking off a little bit of a knock, but yeah, he's going to be able to make his way back down the tunnel under his own steam. No visual lingering after effects of that challenge on him, but yeah, really good in-swinging cross to the far post, and Ryan Jones there, he was trying to beat Lewis Jones at his near post, squeezed the ball between the goalkeeper and the post. Goalkeeper got a good strong hand on it and palmed it behind. There was no time for the corner, but only belatedly have the shots really shown their mettle this evening. Sluggish start in which Dagenham were easily the better team for me. Should have been ahead. Aldershot only sporadically threatened at the other end. Very, very different story to last Tuesday, even though the opposition may have presented seemingly a similar problem, where a team low on confidence, low on form, there for the taking. You wanted an early start, an early goal, as the shots managed against Solihull last week, but not a bit of it. Dagenham will be really pleased with their first half. They've been lively, dangerous, solid, compact, aggressive. Maybe the width of a post away from it being the perfect away performance so far, but Lewis Young will be really buoyed by what he's seen. Tommy Widrington, though, needs to lift his team. They've not been good enough. They've not been as good as they can be, but they still need to be looking at 3 points here this evening. As good as Dagenham have been, Aldershot Town really need to be taking the 3 points here this evening.
Yeah, I think Dagenham bossed that first 35 minutes or so of that half, and the shots just came to life a little bit in the last 10 minutes or so. Barrett, Woodhouse and Ryan Jones with some sort of chances. Ryan Jones probably coming closest there, beaten away at his near post by Louis Jones. Elsewhere then in the National League, Fylde 2, Hartlepool 1 at half time. So that's one of the teams in and around where the shots are winning. Barnet 3, Yeovil 0. Hartigan and Glover amongst the scorers there. Boston 0, Oldham 0. Eastleigh 1, Ebbsfleet 0. Niall Maher with that goal. Halifax 1, Forest Green Rovers 0. Emerson with the goal to really look to cement Halifax's position inside those playoffs. Maidenhead United have pulled a goal back against Braintree through Reece Smith just before half time. Robinson and Lisby had put Braintree ahead in that, but John Akindi on the stroke of half time has been shown a second yellow, so Maidenhead might not be out of that one just yet. Rochdale 0, Gateshead 0. Solihull Moors 1, Sutton 1. Jack Stevens equalising Edwino Vaz's opener for Sutton. Southend United 1, Woking 1. Chinwaika Coley putting Woking ahead, but Golding, the centre-back, with a goal in the 34th minute to put Southend level at Roots Hall. Tamworth 0, Wealdstone 0. And York City 0, Altrincham 1. And the irony of this one, a £300,000 own goal by Josh Stones. He's still in credit, I think. He's got 3 or 4 since he joined.
Yeah.
And still time for York City to get back into that one. I think we'll leave it there, listeners. We've summed up the first half for you. It's goalless in not the most pulsating game, but an intriguing one nevertheless. Steve Gibbs and myself, Rob Worrell, will be back with you for the second half in about 10 minutes. Right, Josh Rees has led out the Dagenham and Redbridge team for the second half, so time for us to get going again with our BBC Surrey and our NLTV commentary. And body language looks quite sprightly from the team all in yellow. Dagenham and Redbridge, you had a pretty impressive first half, certainly bossed the game for the first 30-35 minutes or so. Shots coming into it a little bit towards the end of the half, but I think I'm right in saying, Steve, that Louis Jones' save right on half time is the first save by either goalkeeper all night.
Yes, the first save that could be called a save. I think Dewhurst denied Rutherford by pouncing at his feet. But that wasn't a shot.
Yeah, he got there first.
It was a heavy touch from Rutherford rather than an effort on goal. But yes. But yeah, fortunately for Aldershot Town, the post got in the way of Reese's early effort, and Jones, tough start to him at Dagenham, not least because he's having to replace Elliot Justin in the Dagenham goal, who's been an absolute fixture there for seemingly more than a decade. But difficult time for him to come in, difficult start, made a miraculous double save against Boston on Saturday, and I think a few Doncaster fans have pointed out his faults, but as a shot stopper he seems to be pretty positive.
That's Steve Gibbs, I'm Rob Worrell. Second half action from the National League here. 18th place Aldershot Town against 19th place Dagenham at the start of the night, and the shots about to have the kick-off for the second half. 0-0 as Theo Widrington will get us underway. The shots kicking for the benefit of our online listeners towards the East Bank in the second half. No changes from either side, so the shots will line up with Dewhurst in goal. Woodhouse, Ellison now, who came on for the injured Mag Homer, and we wish him well. Armitage across the back three. Frost, Hargreaves, Widrington and Aaron Jones, and then Ryan Jones behind Barham and Barrett. Here's Woodhouse heading clear. It'll bounce once, and then it's one in the air by Clayton, and then eventually, after a little bit of head tennis, it drops into the path of Will Armitage, who sends the ball down the right side, and that will find touch, which gives me time to give you the Dagenham and Redbridge lineup. Louis Jones in goal, Chris Francis, Tom Eastman and Paul Callenby, the back three. And then across the midfield from left to right, Regan Clayton, Josh Rees, the skipper, Jake Hessenthaler and Oscar Rutherford, and then Dion Pereira and Ryan Hill. Right and left supporting Josh Umera. Here's Jones hooking the ball forward. He's going to come back from Hessenthaler. One in the air by Ellison. Headed back again. Pereira's interested. Woodhouse hooks the ball over his head. Callenby and Barrett battle. Ooh. And Ryan Jones is caught there. It's a free kick to the shots just outside the centre circle. And Jones just getting up onto his knees. It's Jones, isn't it? And not... No, it's Jack, isn't it? It is Jack. It's Jack Byron. But he's up and he's onto his feet. Both very speedy players, similar height, similar colour hair. I do occasionally get the pair of them mixed up.
I was very much on the fence on that one. Was it Ryan? Was it Jack? But yeah, it was a very Jack-esque movement. That speed of thought, those first couple of yards in his head that always gets him in front of the defender and ushers in the rash challenge as he did there.
Yeah. Barrett lifts the free kick over. Woodhouse battles for it. It's half cleared and then fully done so by Eastman. 2 1s on the back of Ryan Jones' shirt and 2 2s on the back of Jack's. And sometimes it's not until you see those numbers that you know which one of them it is. Here's the throw taken from Frost to Ryan Jones. Quick feet from him. He's momentarily away from Oscar Rutherford. And now he's still got the ball on the left side. Frost keep it in as spectators are taking their seats. There's a ball in through the corridor of uncertainty, half cleared and then cleared up and away by Regan Clayton, and then good positioning by Umera to hold the ball up. And then as Theo Whittington pokes the ball, it looked to me like he'd poked the ball into touch, but referee Wayne Cartmel decides that that's a free kick to Dagenham and Redbridge. Taken quickly, ball down the left side, headed away by Armitage, headed on by Hargreaves, but then picked up on the left side by Chris Francis. Hargreaves is trying to win the ball again. It comes forward on the left side. Ellison hooks it forward. Francis heads it forward, only as far as Armitage, who does well to get there and ride the challenge of Pereira and find Luca Woodhouse. Lovely ball down the left side for him, but unfortunately Tyler Frost just trying to shift his balance, couldn't take it under control, and it disappears into touch. Throw into Dagenham, very much in the balance. We admired Dagenham's first half an hour or so performance, didn't we, and noticed shots coming back into it a bit, but at the end of the day, regardless of how either team's played up to this point, it's 0-0 and all to play for. Dagenham lift it over the top. Ellison wins the header. Pereira heads it ironically back to him, and then it's sent forward, and Callenby does superb close control up against Barrett and Ryan Jones, and now Ryan Hill picks the ball up, and Rutherford cuts inside of Tyler Frost. Good, well cut out by Theo Widgerton, but he can only help it into the path of Rees, who plays a nice looking ball down the right hand side. I think it'll just have too much on it. Pereira can't get there, and it will be a goal kick to the shots. 49 minutes just over gone. And it remains here, Aldershot Town 0, Dagenham and Redbridge 0. Dewhurst is going to wander over to the right hand side to take this goal kick. And this game is yet to catch a light, which is unusual for a game at the EBB, very unusual. And I think if it stays that way, we have to take that one on the chin tonight, because we've been well entertained all season. Here's a ball forward from Frost. Barham holds it up, turns it round the corner to Ryan Jones. Hargreaves pops it out to the left. That's a lovely looking ball, and this one is taken under control by Frost. He's got 2 Dagenham players for company though. One of those is Rutherford, and Rutherford pokes the ball into touch. Come on, the shots gets going in the East Bank, and it's smattering its way round to the North Stand as well. Barrett inside, cutting across the area, tries a little clip ball in, comes off the back of a Dagenham defender, it's half cleared, volleyed up in the air by Hessenthaler, held up by Umera. Widrington has a touch. Now Hargreaves going to try a shot from distance, that's blocked at source, but ricochets nicely into the path of Tyler Frost. Frost into Barrett holds it, turns, threads it to Theo Widrington, who's out on the left side at the moment. Now Barrett back to Luca Woodhouse. Dagenham working so hard out of possession not to be broken down. All 11 players behind the ball. There's a ball played forward. Rutherford will take no chances. He hooks it clear up in the air. Barrett and Umera battle, and it's a foul by Barrett, according to a referee, Wayne Cartmel. Free kick to Dagenham just outside their own penalty area, halfway between the penalty area and the touchline. Steve Gibbs.
Tommy Widrington not happy with that decision. I think Josh Barrett was just standing, waiting to exert pressure from behind on Umera, felt Barrett there and just went down. Or was it Francis? I'm not sure.
A bit more noise now from the Shots faithful, trying to get behind their team. There's Umera and Luca Woodhouse battling. Well,
I think it's one of those situations. The crowd needs to lift the players need to lift the crowd. One of them needs to get the other fired up, because at the moment Aldershot Town haven't really, they've not even picked up where they left off in the first half. They had a little bit of ascendancy at the end of the first half. It's been a little bit flat again.
York City have equalised at home to Altrincham in an attempt to keep that title race going. Barnet, of course, almost out of sight against Yeovil, 3-0 up at half-time. Here's Hargreaves on halfway. Plays the ball to Ellison, and Ellison out to Woodhouse. Woodhouse lifts the ball down the left-hand side, and Hargreaves has now appeared over there on the end of that pass. Incredible that he started the move and then got there for it. Dagenham clear their lines. It'll find touch halfway inside the Aldershot Town half. Ellison will leave it for Luca Woodhouse, and throw in to the Shots. They've got to be careful. They probably stolen a few yards there by throwing the ball up the line to a couple of different players.
Yeah, Mr. Cartmell's putting Tyler Frost back in his place.
Dagenham have stifled Aldershot today, haven't they? They've done it really well, and they've had to be patient for their own moments, but they had a few in the first 10 minutes, but couldn't score. Here under pressure they clear into touch, up onto the roof of the north stand, and it may have cleared the second half of it, because it hasn't come bouncing back. Frost to Jones, Jones back to Frost. The ball's now in touch, and it's a throw in to Dagenham and Redbridge. Halfway inside the Aldershot Town half. Sometimes the best games don't make the best commentaries, and sometimes the games that are not so good do make the best commentaries. Tonight, I'm not sure which one's winning, to be honest with you, because it's not quite sparking, but it still could, and we are only less than 10 minutes into the second half. Here's Ellison in possession. Arrows a ball out to the right wing, where Aaron Jones has started a late run to get onto it, but it'll just be helped back by Clayton, I think it is, to his keeper, who sends it forward, and then Armitage wins the header. Eastman and Ryan Jones battling. Ryan Jones picks it up, goes down, thinks he's got a foul, nothing given. Eastman sends the ball forward, and Ellison just touches the ball quite calmly into the path of Marcus Dewhurst. Excellent defending there. Barham jumps a little bit blind and a little bit dangerously, according to referee Wayne Cartmel, against Eastman, and it's just a free kick, I think, but the referee's going to have a word with Jack Barham. Pretty sure that Josh Rees was having a word with the referee there about whether something more should have been there should have been more punishment than just a free kick. Your thoughts on that one, Steve?
I think the referee has got that right. Yes, it was a foul. It was a little bit clumsy and, as you put it, blind from Jack, but not worthy of any more.
It's one of those times where you don't quite know where the ball is in Jack's case, and so he thought, well, I'm going to jump and make a nuisance of myself anyway, and he ended up catching Eastman.
If you can't win the ball, make sure that your opponent can't win it either. But yeah, undoubtedly a foul there from Jack Barham. And in the goalless stakes, we've only had 2 0-0 draws here at the Ebb Stadium this season. We hope that this isn't a third.
So, off the ball, the assistant referee has just spotted an infringement by Umera on Woodhouse, has he? Is it a free kick or is it... It's definitely a free kick.
Yeah, it's not an offside.
I don't know if they're talking via the headpieces, but interesting that was another one off the ball. I'm not seeking to put any blame on Umera for Maghomer's injury because I didn't see it clearly, but it was off the ball. They came together, and that was the end of Maghomer's match, and who knows, possibly the end of football for some time for him. Whether that's weeks or months, we don't know, but a very unfortunate situation. Here's Ellison sending the ball straight through the middle. Easy winners for Eastman, but Hargreaves is onto it. Sends it inside looking for Jones. Jones has to scramble against Hill. I think Jones got the key touch. It's in touch. Throw in to Dagenham and Redbridge. Neither side can probably really claim, if I'm brutally honest, to say that they really are on top and should be ahead. Dagenham certainly began the game at a flurry, that's for sure, and their half chances came in that first 10 minutes, but very little since, and not too much for shots either. Here's Pereira trying to get away down the left side. Armitage tries to stop the cross, he can't, but in the end, at the very last minute, Dewhurst realises he can leave it because it's going over the bar. But right up until the point he left it, it looked like he was jumping to catch it, doesn't it? So
yeah,
good eyes and good decision making from Dewhurst, because he had to be sure.
He did.
If there was any doubt, he would have had to parry it over for a corner. But now he'll start with the goal kick.
Yeah, I think he had to be alert, had to keep his eye on it and be prepared to take evasive action. But yeah, the last thing you'd want to do is think, oh, this is easy, I can leave it, and then it drops embarrassingly underneath your crossbar.
Here's Dewhurst sending the ball out to the left side, one in the air by Rutherford. Woodhouse cushions it to where he thinks Frost might be. Rutherford gets there first, lifts it forward, and it goes into touch. Mike Brown himself says random one, Rob, but can you please say thank you to all the BBC and Aldershot staff in the background who help you and Steve front up a great online commentary for those of us not attending. That's very kind of you, Mike. I'll pass on those thanks to Cameron Anderson-Jones, our producer in the studio this evening. Other than that, it's Rob, Steve and Cameron really tonight, but of course plenty of BBC staff that do a lot of work in the background, presenting the shows and with the production. The ball's in touch over on the far side, but referee Cartmell's given a free kick to Dagenham for an offside, I believe, against Aldershot. And well, we're almost an hour in, Steve, and I don't really sense anything too much different in the second half from what we saw in the first.
No,
a bit more even, perhaps.
I think so. Yeah, I think both teams have maybe not cancelled each other out, but they've not found the inspiration to break the opposing defence down.
Here's Whittington hooking clear, but as Barrett looks interested, the ball's picked up by Chris Francis, who's working his way down the left. Good ball for Josh Rees, ever willing runner, holds it in down by the byline. Plays it back to Francis. Francis cross into the far post. That's over everybody, and it will find touch for an Aldershot Town throw. Well, I think whether you're Dagenham or Aldershot at this point, you're looking at the bench, aren't you? And you're thinking who's going to come on and make a real difference in this game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the finishers from the bench. I mean, we spoke about Aldershot Town's options: Kai Corbett, Brad Dollahan, Maxi Mullins. Possibly Tarek Awukwe, who can play in those wide attacking roles, but also. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, just for the benefit of our online listeners, really, Barham pulled down on halfway, free kick to the shots. Sorry, Steve, go on if you want.
Yeah, for Dagenham, the familiar figure of Aaron Lupalu-Bai, who played here for Fulham under-21s against Aldershot Town not so long ago. He's now on loan at Dagenham and a prolific striker in the Premier League 2 academy system.
Quick throw taken by Frost into the path of Ryan Jones. Can he hook across him from a oh no, he plays it back cleverly to Frost. Frost gets the ball in. That's cleared up and away by Callum Bailly. And now Rutherford jumps first, gets the first and second header, but he can only find Theo Widrington, who lifts the ball over the top. That'll be headed away by Callum Bailly, taken down on the chest of Ryan Hill. who shows quite a bit of it before spreading the ball out to the Dagenham left. Aaron Jones is there, and he very cleverly just shepherds it, and he didn't really have an option back or forward, so he let it run out of play. A little bit of nous from the shot skipper.
Yeah, it did really well. Could easily have fallen over, tried to win a free kick, been overpowered and embarrassed there, but no, he absolutely impeccable.
Eastleigh have doubled their lead against Ebbsfleet this evening. Tamworth are now 2-0 up against Wealdstone, who are down to 10 men. Craig Eastman sent off for the second time, I believe, this season. Ball's in touch again. Still 1-1 between Solihull, Sutton and Southend, and Woking still 0-0 between Rochdale and Gateshead. Still 1-2 between Maidenhead and Braintree. Halifax still 1-0 up against Forest Green. Boston and Oldham are yet to be separated, as are the two teams here. And Barnet 3, Yeovil 0, Fylde 2, Hartlepool 1. Woodhouse wins the header, comes back to him again, wins it again. Barrett, was that handball? I'm not sure, but Jones hooks it forward and Barham's onto it inside the penalty area. He comes back onto his right foot, tries the shot. It's on target, saved by Louis Jones, and that's the first effort on target for the shots in the 62nd minute.
Yeah, he did well, Jack. A suspicion of handball from Josh Barrett. I think it sort of hit his chest and maybe rolled down his arm. Referee gave him the benefit of any doubt, but Jack on his own, angle was a little bit prohibitive, caught the shot sweetly, but
Pereira bombing forward, shots player down into Ryan Hill. He's inside the penalty area. Aaron Jones almost takes him down, but he has to turn away from goal Hill now. Aldershot have got players back. Luca Woodhouse it was that was down. Ball comes in, half cleared by Theo Widrington, hooked clear by Will Armitage, and Luca Woodhouse still down on his haunches and may need some treatment here. Shots could ill afford to lose another centre-back this evening.
Another centre-back, yeah, but it was one of the other centre-backs, Will Armitage, who was pivotal in denying Dagenham there. I think it was Hill was about to pull the trigger on a shot from just inside the penalty area. Then Armitage just put himself in the way and made a strong block, and otherwise I think Hill would have fired a dangerous shot towards Marcus Dewhurst, but more excellent defending from Will Armitage.
Throw in, played back out wide by Umera. Dagenham player goes down. It's Ryan Hill again, and a little bit of dissent from the slab, the shots faithful on the slab as Hill went down. Referee not interested again, and it will be a goal kick to the shots. No such thing, of course, at this stage of the season as a must-win game, but certainly both sides really keen to win, and dare I say, from the way the game's played out, hell-bent on not losing.
Yeah, I think the longer the game goes on, it changes from maybe a must-win to a must-not-lose.
Yeah, here's Rutherford clearing his lines. Theo Widrington can only head it up in the air. Luca Woodhouse is being fouled by Umera, who protests that he didn't foul. We're all of about 12 yards away, and it's one of the most obvious fouls I've ever seen. But that's his game, and he's got it. Oh, slip there, in possession by Aaron Jones, but he recovers well. And Cameron Hargreaves to the rescue, pokes it into the path of Will Armitage. Here comes Armitage, sends the ball out to the left side, looking for Frost, very easily cut out by Rutherford, and Rutherford feeds Pereira on the right hand side, and then the loose ball is battled for. Is that handball by Josh Rees? Not given. He's got Ryan Jones for company, goes back to Hessenthaler even, and he goes across to Francis to Eastman, who's pulled into a position on the left, and now Dagenham come over midfield. Strong run from the number 2, Chris Francis, and he's taken out. Really got the afterburners on there, didn't he, Francis?
He did.
He was bombing straight through the middle.
Yeah, really good turn of pace from Chris Francis. He just thought there's an opportunity here, and you could see him accelerate into that space And I think Aaron Jones is a little bit harshly done by to have conceded the free kick there. But it was a shoulder to shoulder. Mr. Cartmel was clearly a lot clearer than we are. You have to accept his decision, but I think Aaron Jones' reaction, he felt aggrieved.
Here's the free kick from Hill, played to the far side of the area, headed on by Umera, held up by Kalambai. Ball comes in, it's nothing given, punched away by Dewhurst and then headed behind by Aaron Jones, corner to Dagenham. And I think I might have got those boys, Kalambai and Umera, the wrong way round there, but nevertheless it's Dagenham and Redbridge just asking questions here. We're on the 66-minute mark and we look to the benches to see who is going to make the next change. Corner to Dagenham, 0-0 into the 67th minute. It's taken short into Pereira and then he plays it back to Hill. Hargreaves is on the scene. He's almost won it. It's been protected by Hill, but I think the referee feels illegally so, and he's given a throw or a free kick to Shots. I'm not quite sure. He's blown his whistle, so presumably it's a free kick.
Yeah, I think it's a free kick. Yeah, I think combination of Hill's challenge and then falling on the ball and protecting it. Oh, seems to be a throw-in. What do we know?
Hargreaves controlling it, protecting it, and then it's played down the line by Armitage and it finds touch again. And it's had a pretty good game tonight, the touchline. Been very consistent throughout. Here's Dagenham and Redbridge playing the ball inside to Pereira. One touch into the path of Hill. Hargreaves is almost onto it. Aldershot have now won it, and it's Will Armitage who comes away with the ball. Maidenhead United, who were 2-0 down to Braintree, and Braintree went down to 10 men. That's now back to 2-2. Here's Theo Whittington sending it out to the left-hand side to Tyler Frost. He's around the edge of the area, gives it back to Whittington, and he's into the penalty area, holds it up, goes back to Josh Barrett. Barrett looks to skip across the area. He's shepherded away by Reese, and back out to Theo Whittington. Barrett's got it again. He's going to try a curled effort, and that one he gets all wrong. Doesn't really get enough curl on it. It was tight though, and it's just a really good example of how Dagenham have just not really allowed Aldershot to any time on the ball or any space.
No, absolutely. That's not one of Josh Barrett's best efforts. Certainly not one for that highlights reel. Body shape was all wrong. No backlift. Didn't set himself. In the end, just stabbed it wide. No curl on the ball at all. But yeah, I think Josh Reese there, the way he tracked Theo Widrington and then tracked Josh Barrett. Not known for his work rate, Josh. More the artist in that Dagenham midfield. But even he's putting in a shift this evening. I think all of Dagenham know that a point here this evening would be a really positive result.
I think it often happens, doesn't it, when you've got two sides so close together in the table. You just don't want to lose any ground. You don't want to go further behind. You don't want to. There's a lovely knockdown from Barrett into the path of Ryan Jones. Sends it forward to Tyler Frost, and there's a little deflection on the ball as it comes in. But Eastman was there to patrol things, and the ball went through to Louis Jones in the Dagenham and Redbridge goal. As you say, big gloves to fill. Those of Elliot Justin, who's been Dagenham's goalkeeper for a number of years, but left a month or two ago.
Left in rather controversial circumstances as well.
There's a foul on Ryan Jones on halfway. Aldershot want to take the free kick quickly, and Pereira does his best to delay the restart without getting done for delaying a restart. It's very clever, Leon Pereira. We salute you for that one. You just started hobbling around with a bit of an injury until Aldershot took the free kick, and then he was okay. It was quite funny, really. Here's Ryan Jones. Can Aldershot find an extra gear in this final 20 minutes or so? Just over. Frost into the feet of Widrington. Widrington to Luca Woodhouse, who's well forward. Back to Frost. Frost tries to get a left-footed cross in, and it lands on the roof of the net, and it will be a Dagenham and Redbridge goal kick. Steve Gibbs, anything new to offer to our listeners? As Southend go 2-1 up against Woking.
Okay, that's... Yeah, just thinking where do both teams go from here? We've got 20 minutes left of normal time. Tommy Widrington looks the more frustrated of the two managers. Lewis Young seems quite composed and calm and content with things, and might well he be, but you'd think, having got to this point, 20 minutes, who wants to stick, who wants to twist? Kai Corbett coming back to the Aldershot dugout after a bit of a warm-up, but not looking like he's particularly imminent. I wouldn't have thought that it's in Tommy's nature to accept a 0-0.
There's Barrett potentially being fouled on halfway, and then the free kick isn't given. Jones comes across and does foul, so it's a free kick to Dagenham and Redbridge, and a little bit of
from there,
frustration. No, it's on the halfway line.
Yeah, I think Josh was sort of leaning in. He was backing into the defender. In the end, he fell over and felt that he was helped on his way down. But then it was a foul from Tyler Frost. Two wrongs don't make a right. From Ryan Jones. Ryan Jones.
Yeah.
Whether Josh should have had a free kick is no matter. It's definitely a free kick to Dagenham.
Yeah, I completely agree. Here's Aldershot clearing it forward. Barham will battle. Just got a little shove in the back there from Chris Francis, but they've won it back, and Barrett's got it. Sends the ball over the top. He's looking for Hargreaves, but is cleared away by Dagenham. Downward header by Armitage is a big and a strong one. Hargreaves has got it, and then he's surely taken out. No, again the referee just says play on. He's been a good referee in the sense that Woking have equalised quickly at Southend. Been a good referee in the sense he's tried to let the game flow, but sometimes it's ridiculous. Maidenhead have come from 2-0 down at home to Braintree to now be 3-2 up against them. There are other sides in and around the bottom 8 of the National League winning tonight, namely Fylde and Maidenhead. Wealdstone are losing 2-0 at Tamworth.
I think in that incident there, Josh Rees, he left the ground, he jumped in to make the tackle, but I think he won the ball cleanly. It's whether you think he was out of control, reckless in his challenge, and then if the referee thinks that he's out of control and reckless, then there should be at least a yellow card shown. But I think for me, yes, Josh was aggressive, but he won the ball.
There are 54 more people in the ground than there were for the Solihull Moors game 1 week ago. 1,657 with 73 Daggers fans. Is Theo Widrington sending the ball over the top, being chased by Ryan Jones? Will he get there? He doesn't need to, because referee Cartmel has given Aldershot Town a free kick, a very belated one. I think he was just waiting to see if there was an advantage to be played.
He was, absolutely, and I think Theo did really well by staying face down on the turf, just to remind the referee that there had been a foul, and if he was going to award it, it was going to be from exactly this point. Because Theo was immediately back to his feet as soon as the ref had blown his whistle.
It's a Harry Beautyman penalty that's got Woking level at 2-2 away at Southend. Gus Scott Morris, who else had put Southend ahead? Here we are in the 74th minute, still goalless between the Shots and the Daggers. And Josh Barrett stands over this free kick, 30-something yards out on the right-hand side. Sends it in, and Ellison, I think, gets ahead on it. He ends up on the floor, and it goes wide. It will be a goal kick to Dagenham and Redbridge. Always looks a threat from set pieces, Ellison, but he can't find that first shot's goal on this occasion.
Good delivery from Josh Barrett, really whipped it in with a lot of pace. And Ellison, he wants a glance on that, he catches it too full on the side of his head, and in the end it goes well wide, but a bit of a glance across goal towards the far post, and Jones would have been struggling to make the save.
So the other Jones then, Louis Jones, the Dagenham Redbridge number 33, is going to take this goal kick. And Lewis Young, who of course wore the red and blue of Aldershot Town some years ago now. Was it 2013, wasn't it?
14.
2014. Is in the dugout for Dagenham. Free kick to Aldershot in their own half. Aaron Jones takes it quickly. Oh, referee says the ball was moving and it wasn't, Steve, you know. I watched that really carefully. He literally had just come to arrest, but that's a little bit fussy from the referee. Looks like Maxi Mullins might be getting ready to come on for the shots. There's a ball forward down the left side. Ryan Jones is chasing it. Callum Bailly doesn't want to deal with it, but he does. He has to, and that's cut out his pass. Widdrington's got it. Sends it out to Frost on the left. Frost into Ryan Jones. Jones can't keep hold of it. Dagenham have won it back with Oscar Rutherford. Great work from him. And now it's played forward down the right side. Umera wins his header. Headed inside by Hill. Pereira touches it down. Frost comes from nowhere to win it. Gets the ball back from Ellison and then plays it down the left side, but that's just going to drift into touch. It'll be a throw in to Dagenham and Redbridge, and Aldershot are going to make at least one change anyway, and it is Maxi Mullins that's going to come on. And we've got 13 and a half minutes left, and I might have to flick through the programme and check when we were last at 0-0 at this stage in the game. Here's Ryan Hill, twisting and turning, gives it to Pereira. Pereira to Rutherford on the outside of him, sends a cross in, a really dangerous one. Oh, it's cleared away, backheeled by Aaron Jones, and then it's blazed over the bar by, of all people, from some 14 yards, Josh Rees. If you'd wanted anybody to drift onto that, Steve, if you're of Dagenham persuasion, it would have been Rees.
It absolutely would. He's in excellent goal scoring form at the moment as well. 3 in his last 5 from midfield, and he looked aghast as the ball flew not just over the bar but over the advertising hoardings and through the branches of the leafless trees behind the goal. Yeah, he knows he should have done way better than that.
Here's Pereira picking up the ball in a bit of space, cuts inside, looks to beat Woodhouse, goes down and stays down. Nothing given by the referee. Frost plays the ball down that channel on the right, and Callum Bailly has to take no chances, and it'll be a throw in. And Barrett, I think, is complaining the ball was already out and he kicked it further away, but I think it's when it's on and around the line there, he's entitled to have another poke at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
No issues with that for me. No. 78 minutes gone here. Shots nil, Dagenham nil. Throw in taken by Frost. Gets the ball back from Ryan Jones. Looks to spread it now quickly across to the other side. Ellison to Will Armitage. Armitage pressured by Hill. Goes out to Aaron Jones. Inside to Hargreaves. Loses it, but Jones is back onto it. Plays it up to Barham. Barham holding it up and comes back to Luca. to Will Armitage. And now Ellison has it, and he'll spray it out to the left-hand side. Frost changing the ball from right to left. It's one in the air by Clayton, and he can only head it though to Hargreaves, who finds Aaron Jones, and then Will Armitage. And the ball, the linesman, I think, has he blown for a throw here or a free kick? We'll have to wait and see. I think
it's a throw.
It's just a throw to the shots, taken inside by Aaron Jones, and Armitage goes all the way back to Dewhurst. And Aldershot, who have created plenty of openings in most games this season, are just struggling to break down this resilient Dagenham Redbridge side at the moment. Full credit to the Daggers for that. And we've just got 10.5 minutes gone. I think we're going to see...
Well, it'll be a double substitution. Kai Corbett. Maxi Mullins is coming on. And it'll be a shots debut for Tariq Awukwe.
Very good. You said it so quickly, we didn't get to judge you on how you said it.
Here's that was my plan.
Widdrington sending it out to the right-hand side. Can Aaron Jones keep it in? He can. He hooks it back in, and then Barham battling away for it with Francis. But Dagenham clear it forward, and it bounces once and finds touch. Throw into the shots, and the first substitute that Aldershot are going to make this afternoon is to take off the number 11 Ryan, or the second substitute, but the first one towards the end of the game is Ryan Jones coming off and Maxi Mullins coming on, the number 24. And there's a lot of ironic jeers around as Theo Widrington comes off and Uwekwe comes on for the shots, for his shots debut, wearing the number 37 shirt.
It looks like Tyler Frost has just come over to the dugout as those substitutions were happening, and he was getting a few instructions from Tommy Widrington. It looks like he's moved inside to a central midfield position alongside Cameron Hargreaves, where Theo Widrington has vacated, and Uwekwe, who is a wide player, can play number 10, but is a winger essentially. He's now the new left wing back.
And he's played his first pass down the left wing for Tyler Frost, but he's put it straight into touch as Uwekwe. Some of the video highlights I saw of him, he attacks a lot on the right side, cutting in on his left, but he's starting on the left side now.
Yeah, I think he's mostly left-sided, but can play both wings.
Umera in a physical battle that he wins against two Aldershot players. Ellison hooks the ball over his head. Woodhouse tries to take the ball down in a tight space and can't quite get it under control before it goes across the touch line. So we've got 8 minutes and 14 seconds left, plus whatever's added. Dagenham Redbridge on the attack. Lovely back heel from Pereira into the path of Hill, and then Umera lifts it just over the bar. He was stretching, he was probably on his weaker foot, but it was a chance, and it was a good move from the Daggers.
It was an excellent move from the Daggers, really good pullback from Hill. Knew that Umera was there, but he was always stretching, was Umera. Off balance, stretching, falling backwards. Never really had it under control.
Midfield battle now. Dagenham and Redbridge clear it forward. Ellison's going to send it back. Oh, there's a proper coming together there. Both players didn't flinch, Aaron Jones and Regan Clayton. Shot's holding it up now, and surely Aldershot win a free kick. They do. It's Max Mullins who's been pulled down, so they've taken it quickly inside to Josh Barrett. Barrett sends it out to the left side to Uwekwe. He's up against Oscar Rutherford now. What's he got in the locker? Onto his right foot, sends it across to Hargreaves on the edge of the area. Hargreaves rides one tackle, then another, and then it's cleared forward to Umera, who's holding it up, trying to assess what's on. He goes back to Rutherford. Rutherford under pressure from Uwekwe, and Rutherford finds Pereira. Pereira comes back onto his left foot, gives the ball to Hill. Hill gives and goes. Pereira into Uwekwe, who catches a little bit of Rutherford as well as the ball, and the referee wasn't going to give a free kick, but the assistant referee flagged for it. And there's been a number of occasions tonight, 3 or 4, where the assistant referees are flagged for free kicks.
Yeah, it must be on the instruction of the referee, because sometimes referees tell assistants to only flag for offsides, but
I think this one's sort of hinted that I'm only going to give it if I'm certain, but if you see it, give me a warning.
Yeah, and it was. You could hear leather on leather. That was a foul.
Ball into the air is headed away by Mullins, and then Josh Barrett sends it forward. Barham's battling away on the edge of the area, and there's a coming together on the edge of the area. Aldershot have picked it up. Barham's got it. He's out to the left side. The keeper's backtracking. He's into his goal. The momentum's gone initially out of the attack, but the shots have still got it. Barrett on the edge of the penalty area sends a ball in. It's half cleared. Should be picked up by Aaron Jones on the far side of the penalty area. He's just outside the edge of it. Goes across to Hargreaves. Can the shots break through late on here? We're in the 85th minute, still goalless. Here's Uwekwe. He's shown the ball to his man and then gone back and then tried another trick, but that's not quite come off. Woodhouse has got it, gives it back to Uwekwe, gives it back to Woodhouse, swears it across, cut out behind. Corner to the shots. Can they pierced that resilient Daggers defence late on here.
Yeah, at least we might have a grandstand finish. It's two teams have somewhat cancelled themselves out for the opening 85, but shots are lifting it in front of the East Bank. Let's have a grandstand finish.
Josh Barrett, one hand up in the air, takes the corner. In it comes, headed away by Eastman. Was there a foul? Referee again just watches, doesn't give anything. And then he stops it. He stops the play because there's a Dagenham player down. I think it might be Josh Rees, I'm not too sure. No, it's not Rees, but he didn't see an infringement there, the referee, but he did see a foul, and one of the players, the Aldershot Town player, got up. The Dagenham and Redbridge player didn't, and he's had to stop the play. You've got to give the benefit of the doubt to the player who's down there, Steve. I think the frustration of the home faithful trying to indicate that maybe there's a bit of gamesmanship going on, but I'm not so sure. That was another coming together in the heat of battle.
Yeah, and just as the referee was about to blow his whistle, the Aldershot Town player was only just thinking about getting to his feet. So, yeah, I think with two players, one from each team, lying prone on the edge of the 6-yard box, I think discretion was the best option there.
2 or 3 people just turning and leaving, and I just never understand it myself. 86 minutes gone, so you've got 4 minutes left. Quite possibly that might double up to about 8 when we do eventually get going again. And here's a delicately poised match at 0-0. So if you've decided to come out on a cold March evening and watch a game of football and it's 0-0 with 4 minutes to go, I mean, you can only think that people have to be somewhere else. I don't know. That's all I can think.
Possibly, yeah. It's not even going to be beating the traffic, is it? But into that teasingly poised final 5 minutes plus stoppages is about to come Aaron Lupalo-Bai, on loan from Fulham, prolific in the Premier League 2 academy structure. He's coming on as a striker, straight swap for Josh Umera, who has been a thorn in Aldershot Town side all evening, and is now going to get a rest for the last 5 minutes. But Lupalo-Bai brings a skill set all his own, and if Dagenham want to go for a late winner, he could be your man.
Yeah. Lupalo-Bai coming on, and is it Eastman who's coming up? I can't quite see.
He does look like Eastman, yeah. He's very slowly, gingerly, either through injury or time wasting, is making a very slow, ginger, baby steps walk over to the touchline.
Dagenham are also going to bring Trent Rendell on, and I beg your pardon, that is the substitution. Sorry, beg your pardon.
Trent Rendell, it's a straight swap, centre back. It was Trent Rendell who was the opposing player in Theo Widrington's red card at Victoria Road.
It certainly was, wasn't it? So Rendell on for Eastman, Lupalo-Bai on for Josh Umera, and the referee Wayne Cartmel is going to give possession back to Aldershot, telling Pereira to go 10 yards. He'd gone all of 4, and in the end the referee let him get on with it. Here's Will Armitage under pressure from Hill, and Aaron Jones looking to get away down the right hand side, but Josh Rees coming over and just poking the ball into touch. Such a good reader of the game. You know, it's not just his positional sense at the other end, is it? He just knows where a little bit of extra assistance is needed, and gives it. 3 more shots players come back from completing their warm-ups. We've got another slight delay. I'm not sure why.
I think Aaron Jones got a bit of a knock in that challenge, but referee was just checking whether he needed any attention, but he's okay to take the throw.
Forest Green might have got back in the game at Halifax, but they're 2-1 down now. Braintree have equalised with their 10 men against Maidenhead. That's 3-3. Rochdale 1-0 up against Gateshead. Tamworth now 3-0 up against Wealdstone. Here's Barrett and Uwekwe trying to work something on the left hand side. Barrett gives it back to Uwekwe, and he sends it back inside to Barrett, and Barrett twists and turns. Now he finds Luca Woodhouse. He slips as he tries to turn with the ball, and then good skill from Rutherford. He goes back to Randall, who clears forward. Ellison battling, and we're going to get just 4 added minutes, which is rather surprising, bearing in mind I thought we were probably already on for about that. But Aldershot have got a throw. Uwekwe is going to take it. He's obviously got a long one in the locker because he's backing up and backing up. So in it comes from Uwekwe, headed away by Dagenham, only as far as Ellison, who heads it into the path of Woodhouse. He flicks it over his head. Malins is chasing for it, tries to head it into the path of Barrett, but it's hooked forward and again out of play on this left hand side. Ellison gives the ball to Uwekwe and he gets it back and then lifts the ball down the left side, and Frost's chasing it. I don't know if he'll get there. He is just blocked out and goes away behind the goal, away to our left. And so we've been richly entertained all season at the EBB, and whilst this one's been tight and intriguing all night, the sides have somewhat cancelled each other out in the second half, haven't they?
They have, yeah.
There's still time, but less than 3 minutes of added time left now.
Yeah, it'll be a late winner now if either team do break the deadlock. And yeah, it is that old equation: is it a point gained or 2 dropped? I think both teams will sort of see glasses half full.
Here's a smart turn from Lupalo by. He's into the penalty area. Oh, what a tackle from Luca Woodhouse, who goes to ground, and he had to make contact with the ball, and he did. Sent forward by Uwekwe. Headers won by Dagenham and Redbridge. Pereira sends it inside to Rees, and then Woodhouse has won it, but he turns into trouble and gives it back to Rutherford. Rutherford clips the ball over the top. Pereira's getting it under control. Lovely bit of skill from him. Rees with the back heel, and then it's half cleared, and now Aldershot put their foot through it again, but that's a handball short. Oh, there's an offside.
There was a foul in the 6-yard box, which the referee brought the play back for. Tommy Widrington was wanting the game to play on, but I'm not sure that Josh Barrett was going to win it in midfield anyway, so he's probably better off Aldershot Town taking a free kick.
The official man of the match has been given to Luca Woodhouse. Aldershot haven't been able to score tonight, but they are possessing a clean sheet as it stands, and we've got 1.5 minutes left. Dewhurst sends the ball forward. Mullins gets the slightest of touches, and then Rutherford clears it forward. Ellison wins the header. Rees will head it back. Hargreaves cuts that out. Frost jumps. Frost and Hargreaves together. Frost volleys through it. Francis heads it forward. It bounces once. Ryan Hill just knocks down a little header into the path of Lupalo by. Barrett's there. He gets a foot in. Aldershot win the free kick. And time is running out at the EBB. Can they find something late on here? Here's Hargreaves. Gets his head down and switches it left to Luca Woodhouse. Woodhouse to Uwekwe. Uwekwe sends it back across to Ellison, who strokes it into the path of Armitage out to Aaron Jones. Jones with a short ball into Hargreaves, takes the ball on the half turn, then he slips the other way to get away from Rees. Ball into Barrett. Barrett can only knock it away, and then he follows his own touch, gets onto it again, spreads it out to the left. Can Woodhouse keep it in on the touchline? Yes, he can. Into Uwekwe. Uwekwe back to Frost, and Hessenthaler pokes it into touch and then goes down, thinks about feigning an injury and thinks, no, I better get up and get on with it. Throw in taken by Frost, headed away by Rutherford, headed back by Frost. Woodhouse is a little too strong, and that is the time up. The 4 added minutes have gone, they've disappeared in front of our very eyes, and we've got a rare 0-0 here at the EBB Stadium. It's going to be a point apiece, and here are the full-time thoughts of Mr. Steve Gibbs. Yeah,
I think the two teams did cancel each other out. Both teams had their periods of ascendancy, but couldn't muster quite enough to break the deadlock. Probably a point gained for Dagenham, 2 dropped for Aldershot. Still not a win for Lewis Young's team. That's now 1 win in 14 for them, I think, but a positive point, I would say, for the visitors. For Aldershot Town, it is another point on the total, and a 3rd league game unbeaten, but they couldn't quite muster a third consecutive league win, which they probably should have done, and they would have felt that tonight was ripe for the picking, that they should have taken 3 points, and that they were going to, with a similar performance to last Tuesday's against Solihull. But Dagenham had other ideas. They weren't going to let Aldershot Town take the initiative, score the early goal, and then essentially run all over them by half time. They were made of sterner stuff this evening, and quite rightly those Dagenham players are going over to the away end opposite us, taking the acclaim and the applause of the visiting supporters, and I think they will feel it's a more positive point in their favour than Aldershot Town will in theirs.
Alright, let's have a quick look at the final scores. I'm not sure if you've given I don't think you've given a man of the match
I didn't.
yet.
I haven't been asked.
Oh, I asked you, Steve, who is your Aldershot Town man of the match?
I hate to agree with the sponsors because it feels like a cop-out, but even before it was announced, I was thinking Luca Woodhouse.
Fair enough. Okay, elsewhere then, Fylde 2, Hartlepool 1, Barnet 5, Yeovil 0, Boston 0, Oldham 0, Eastleigh 2, Ebbsfleet 0, Halifax 2, Forest Green 1, but it's 90 plus 6 there, and Forest Green have a habit of doing late things. Maidenhead 3, Braintree 3, what a scrap that's been. Braintree down to 10 men for a lot of the game. Rochdale 1, Gateshead 0, that's a significant victory for Rochdale. Tarin Alarakria scoring the winner in the 82nd minute, managing to find a way. Solihull Moors 1, Sutton 1, Southend 2, Woking 2. All these last 5 games are still underway. Tamworth 3, Wealdstone 0, and York 1, Altrincham 2, which means that Barnet have won tonight whilst York have lost, and Barnet's lead is up to 9 points unless York come back with a late equaliser, in which case it'll go to 8. As for the other end of the table, well, we'll just hold fire for a moment because a number of those games are still underway. But that equaliser for Braintree with 10 men was quite significant for the Shots, because as it was, they were just a point above the relegation zone. As it stands, they are 2 and they remain in 18th place. Dagenham 19th, Fylde 20th, and then come Wealdstone, Maidenhead, Boston and Ebbsfleet, and the Shots up to 37 points for the season, and Wealdstone in the 21st position on 35, played the same number of games. But so not much more to add really, Steve. We'll have a little bit of a think ahead to the weekend. Aldershot, as you say, 3 games unbeaten, following the 0-0 draw at home to Dagenham. Gateshead suffering a rare loss of late away at Rochdale in the week, so they'll be looking to bounce back. And for Aldershot Town and the team in red and blue, we know it's going to be a very tough ask against Gateshead, who are a difficult team to play any time of the year.
It could be a very long 90 minutes for Aldershot Town. They're going to have to do a lot of work off the ball. Dagenham, they're probably one of the experts in this division at keeping possession, at passing the ball, almost passing teams to death on their way through to finding a route to goal. There's going to need a lot of discipline, and as I say, a lot of hard work off the ball. But Aldershot Town do have a habit of upsetting the favourites, of upsetting teams with promotion ambitions, and if they can get in amongst Gateshead, not let them settle, stop them playing their normally assured, considered passing game, they might just get something, and it could be another thrilling afternoon at the Ebb Stadium, which Tuesday evening at Dagenham wasn't exactly hitting those heights. But
in fairness, Steve, we've been richly entertained, haven't we, all season?
We have.
With a lot of high-scoring games, and sooner or later a game like that had to come along. But for the Shots, the positives being that they've got a clean sheet, they've got another point on the board, and they've got Gateshead coming, who they managed to do quite well against earlier in the season.
They did.
I think it was a 2-2 draw at the time, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, and they Yeah, they.
You're gone. The words have gone. That's all right. It's a very rare moment there where Steve Gibbs was
a rare blessed moment when Steve didn't say anything.
Couldn't find any words, but I think we've done enough of a look ahead to Saturday's game. Thanks for joining us tonight, or whatever time of day it is, wherever you're listening around the country, around the world. We'll speak to you again, God willing, from the EBB on Saturday. Aldershot Town against Gateshead in the National League. Final score here tonight: Aldershot Town 0, Dagenham and Redbridge 0.